Welcome to Look Like Me, an Erasmus project funded by the European Commission. On this episode, we will talk about environment and masculinity and its social influence to address the construction of the masculine figure and the influence that society exerts on it. When we speak of masculinity, what is traditionally understood as masculinity, we are referring to the social conception by which there's a right way to be a man. This social process of modeling masculinity as a relational role, the masculine is defined in contrast to the feminine. Men learn first what they should not do in order to construct their manhood, rather than what they should actually do. This means the necessity to prove oneself and others that one is not a child, not an homosexual, and, in short, one is not a woman. In this context, we can say that men and women form and shape their identities not through the individual, but in social contact with different categories. In this podcast, we would try to break hegemonic masculinity and foster the construction of alternative roles based on what being a man in society based on equality mean. We would talk about how students can analyze the influence of social networks, music, or TV series in the composition of their masculine identity. Are our pupils really aware of the influence exerted by their favorite music or TV series on the modeling of their personalities? Men's social conventions bias then in favor of being dominant. Boys learn to exercise their own power, understanding it as the ability to control and dominate others, taking some privileges for granted, especially over women and over those men who do not show the presumed features by hegemonic masculinity. We can create situations in the classroom that promote critical group reflection that teach them and change preconceived ideas and opinions about what is expected of them as men. We can reflect on the aspects of hegemonic masculinity and their consequences in men's lives with questions such as: do you personally know men who exercise alternative models of masculinity to the hegemonic model? Do you know public social references or influencers identified with an alternative masculinity? How do you value them, or how do you think they are socially valued? Do you think that the features related to masculinity are innate or learned? In order to achieve a freer and freer society, it is necessary to transform the current masculine identity, and for this, it is essential that male privileges and the relations of domination and control that sustain them are made visible. It could be interesting to analyze the message extracted from reggaeton music and its influence on adolescents' lifestyle. Nowadays, we see that these songs encourage a model of aggressive masculinity, which positions men over women, and the popularity among young people of the fullest and most aggressive songs is becoming very significant. We can invite students to analyze each lyrics of their favorite songs and share their impressions with their classmates. They can also study the vision these artists project on society and how they influence the shaping of their own personality. That's all for this episode. Thank you for listening to Look Like Me podcast, and stay tuned for our next episodes.